Hello and welcome back to another week here at Knack Kitchen, where today we are making a super easy baked chocolate cheesecake. We're making this without any store-bought cream cheese. We're not even going to go all the way to make homemade cream cheese here. We're just going to use some curds from the milk. So if you have milk at home and a little bit of acid like lemon juice, you're good to go. This recipe comes together in a mixer. It's so easy and so delicious. So without wasting any more time, let's just dive into this video and see how we make this. So the first thing that we'll do is boil some milk, or rather bring it to a simmer. Since we're not using cream cheese here, we are going to make the curds using the milk. And we're just going to stir this to ensure that the milk does not burn or scorch at the bottom. And once it starts to simmer, we'll add the acid. I'm using lemon juice here, but you can certainly use some vinegar or even citric acid. Now we're just going to stir this and let the milk separate completely. So this could take some time. It should happen instantly, but if it does not, don't worry, just let this sit for at least 5-7 minutes and then it should have separated completely. So we're just going to go ahead and strain this mixture. I have a colander here which I've lined with some cheesecloth, and once we strain this mixture, we're going to let this sit for at least 15 minutes. I've gone ahead and poured some drinking water just to cool the mixture down as well. And I will let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. In the meanwhile, we'll prepare the crust, and for that I have some crushed Oreos and some melted butter. Now I've made this crust a lot of times. We're just gonna stir this and then go ahead and line our cheesecake pan with this. So there's really not much to explain here. The consistency would be like wet sand. Just go ahead, line your cheesecake pan with some parchment paper first. I've also gone ahead and lined the sides. That way you just have neater edges to your cheesecake. So now I'm going to smoothen this mixture out with the help of a spoon, the back of a spoon rather, and then once it's spread out completely, we're going to go ahead and refrigerate this for a few minutes, and then we're going to bake this in a preheated oven for about 8 minutes. So after about 8 minutes, our crust is out of the oven. It's a little soft at the moment, but we let this cool and it'll firm up in that time. So in the meanwhile, in a mixer, I'm going to go ahead and add the curds, not the whole of it, about 3/4 of it. The weight would be mentioned in the description box below. I've gone ahead and added some yogurt, a little bit of brown sugar, and some white sugar as well. And then we're going to go ahead and add just a tablespoon of cocoa powder, a little bit of coffee powder as well, and some vanilla extract for flavor. Finally, we'll also add 3 eggs. This recipe is so easy, it just comes together in a mixer, so you don't even need to whisk it or worry about anything else. So while we blitz that, we're also going to go ahead and melt some chocolate. So here I have about 200 grams of chocolate. It's been melted, and as you can see, it's very soft at the moment. So now we're going to go ahead and pour this mixture from our mixer and then just mix this all through until evenly combined. You can be vigorous with it. There's really no technique required here. This recipe is so easy, anybody could make this. So once you've just mixed all of this together, this is what your cheesecake mixture is going to look like. It's just very delicious even right now, if you wanted to taste it, that is. And now I'm just going to cover the pan on the outside with some foil. We are going to cook this cheesecake in a water bath, so having a layer of foil or even 2 layers of foil is actually just going to help ensure that none of the water enters our cheesecake, because that's just going to ruin it and we don't want that. So now I've gone ahead and added the cheesecake mixture onto our base, and now we're going to place this in a larger pan. It could be anything. A roasting tray works perfectly here. And then we'll add some hot water to about 1 inch of the height. No more, we don't really need more of it. And now we bake this in a preheated oven. All the details would be in the description box below. So our cheesecake is now out of the oven. It has that slight jiggle in the middle. If you touch the edges, it should be set, and that's the perfect place to be. And now for the hard part, we have to let this sit in the refrigerator overnight. So basically about 6 to 8 hours at the least, and then our cheesecake is ready to be served. So on the next day, I'm just going to go ahead, take this out of our pan, We're going to go ahead and remove all of the parchment paper. You'll have much smoother sides this way. It'll even be easier to demold if you have parchment paper on the sides. And then our cheesecake is ready to be served. And here you have my super easy chocolate cheesecake. It's made without using any store-bought cream cheese. You don't even have to go through all the stress of making cream cheese at home. You just need the curds and everything comes together in a mixer in no time. And now I'm going to go ahead and slice into this cheesecake to show you what it looks like on the inside and to get my well-deserved piece of cake. And with that, there's really nothing left to say. I really hope you give this recipe a try. It's super easy and it's absolutely delicious as well. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please do give a like, do share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so very much for watching. And I'm gonna see you next week.